Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Just had a nice little walk around the valley of sort of village. Well, I wouldn't even call it a village to be honest. The valley of Eskdale and the village of Boot, which isn't really a village. It's just basically two pubs, maybe two houses, and a shop and a mill. I think it says there's a mill there as well. Yeah, so Boot and Eskdale Valley. It's one of the lesser populated areas of the Lake District, i.e., tourist wise, but at the same time, because it's so small, when it is sort of summer months, it is quite packed here. There is, when we get later down the road, there is a little train comes here. It's called the Ratty. It's just a little train. It's comes from a town called, oh, I forgot the name of it. Ravenglass. Um, I think it goes from Ravenglass to Eskdale. Is it Ravenglass? I think it's Ravenglass. Sorry. On the Cumbrian coast, and then you get the train there, and it goes down to Eskdale. It's just a mini little train. Good for kids. It's a good thing for kids, and a lot of parents take the kids on it. It's been there, God knows, it's been there all my life, the Ratty. As long as I can remember, anyway. It was always there when I was a kid. I used to go on it as a kid, and it's still there today. I don't think it'll be running this time of year. Just it's the 30th of March now, so it's quite quiet round here at the moment, and the sort of the season isn't even open. I did bump into a fella. Who was camping at the campsite. He was from originally from Preston, but he lived in Oxford and he was thinking about moving back up here. Um, so people still sort of do come here, and as well, people who know it will be quieter at this time of year because it is really sort of small. When there is a lot of people here in summer, it is quite busy to be honest. And it's hard to get parked and things like that, and yeah, but it's lovely, especially when it's sunny. It's lovely down here in Estill. And I often come camping down here as well. If I might do a camping when it gets a little bit warmer. I might come down here camping. This is just a bridge, a bridge that people jump off. Yeah, like kids and youths, teenagers. You jump off the bridge and into the deep water. It's freezing like. And yeah, that's sort of a fun thing people do. There was nobody again. Many a time you'll walk past this area in summer and people will be jumping off this bridge into the deep water, especially if it's really warm as well. It's a good way to cool down. People have jumped off the other side before and done themselves in because it's not as deep and being idiots. It's kind of a thing you do in Cumbria when you're young as well, though, when you're like your teenage years. And I mean, you don't really get the summers now as much as you did. But back in the day when you got the summers and you were teenagers, we often went to the lakes and jumped off just high areas into deep water, really, various ones across the Lake District, various heights. And yeah, I just used to run and jump. Maybe even take drink down and have a drink in the sun in the Lake District and jump off tall areas into deep water, freezing deep water. It's always like crack about cold shock kind of thing. It's often a warning round here. People have died from jumping into the water and getting the sort of cold shock and it not going so well, to be honest. There is warnings when it comes to summer and people do that, but people do it anyway, to be honest, because it's just what people do up here. So anyhow, this is Estill. We're going down the road here. There's a bit of a World War I memorial and sort of a scout or cub hut that I once stayed in myself when I was younger. And it was a bad experience to be honest. We have an autism and an eating disorder. It's like when you were young and people, especially when I was young, nobody even knew out about autism. And they would always try and feed you things that you didn't like or want, and it was a bit of a nightmare to be honest. And it was like I think it was one of my first trips away from my parents when I was young, and this like scouting hut down here it seemed massive as well, the building, but it's tiny now. I'm older. It was a nightmare week to be honest. Just wanted to go home, and it stopped like going to things like having an eating disorder because you don't want to be fed shit that you don't don't want to eat. To be honest. So yeah, it's just a lovely little valley here, Eskdale. Yeah, as we walk down the road here, this is just a bus depot, really, or a depot for Sims Travel, which do buses and minibuses and take people of Cumbria on stag doos and to airport runs and all that kind of crack. And yeah, they're just the depots down here in Eskdale for some reason. Well, out of the way, out of the way. And just further down here is the Ratty train station as well. We'll get to in a minute. This area is morbidly another crass side crack. When Derek Bird, a taxi driver, went a bit crazy in Cumbria and he murdered maybe 12 people, I think. It was in June 2012, I believe, and taxi driver, he killed his brother and a solicitor, and then he come into Whitehaven town centre and shot another taxi driver, then shot and maimed multiple people in and run across Cumbria, and he ultimately ended up down here in this area here, Boot, and took his own life. It's further down the road, not the way I'm going. I believe it's back the other way. I'm not actually quite sure, to be honest. I forget now where it was, but yeah, so bit of a morbid tale. But this area was also where the taxi driver eventually drove to and took his own life and shot himself in the trees and ended the day of the Cumbrian Day of Carnage. I think he used to come here as a child and had childhood memories of Boot was a crack, but I'm not sure, to be honest. But yeah, just a morbid crack of Boot that a lot of people don't know. This is where Derek Bird ended his killing spree by killing himself. So this now, anyway, less morbid. A little what's that slide there for the kids, and a car park. And this is the train station for the Ratty. As I said, it's a little train. I believe it goes from Ravenglass, which is near Muncaster Castle. Maybe go to Muncaster Castle one day and film Muncaster Castle, actually, when that opens. I'm not sure if it'll be open this time of year, but that's well, interesting. I think they've got animals and owls and birds and things at Muncaster Castle, and obviously nice gardens, and it's a castle. So I'll maybe go to this. Delgarth, welcome to Delgarth train station. Here it is, the train tracks for the Ratty and the beautiful hills of Cumbria. Nice days we see, beautiful, beautiful sky, beautiful blue sky. That's how you turn the train round there. You turn the train round once it's got to the end. Turns back round and goes back. As you can see, the track's really small, so it's only a really small train, and I can't, I don't know how to describe it. Just a really small train, and see quite a few cars though. It's still quite busy. If down that road that way is, I think it's Hard Knock Pass. Is it Hard Knock Pass? So there is a pass there, a road that goes over the mountains, and a fort as well, a Roman fort to down the left road, not the way I came. That way is the way back to Whitehaven, and this is the train station, as I said, for the Ratty. Yeah, down this road here is the little village, if you would call it that, of Boot, and as this is the building coming up is a pub, and the building's just to the left there. That's another pub and a mill, I believe, and there's a shop and I think two or three houses. But yeah, just a lovely little area, and you can actually stay, I think, in either both of the pubs or one of the pubs. One's the Boot Inn, and I'm not sure the one we're coming to is something Brook Inn, I believe. It does say it on the wall as we come down here. But yeah, I believe you can stay in sort of holiday homes, or to put the pubs, and there's a few hotels in the area, and or Airbnbs and that kind of thing. And it is very, very popular around here in summer, and they do have sort of events at the pubs, and they do quizzes, and I think there's festivals even, like a farmers' festival of sorts, but I think it's not just for farmers, or there's all sorts goes on, to be honest. I mean, I'm not down here enough to know everything that goes on, but there is a lot going on in summer, and it's very, very popular with tourists, as I said. You kind of, the way we're walking down here is, well, it's maybe a mile or two down the road, to be honest, but there's a beautiful river that's like the Blue Lagoon, beautiful blue waters, and a fort, a Roman fort as well, on top of the mountainside. And um, it's not as good as the one I went to in Tarifa, to be honest. There's no pillars or statues. It's nowhere near as good as that, to be honest. It's just brick walls like you're looking at here, to be honest. Brick walls that remain. So there's that, and then like a beautiful river, and the Roman the soldiers used to bathe in the river, and there's even sort of holes in the rocks where they used to put the spears and stab the spears into the rocks, made holes so they'd keep them sort of on guard in case anything happened while they were bathing in the river. Another time, if I come down here camping, I'll come again. I'll go to the river and I'll go to the fort and go a bit further down this road. I only come here and then I'll go to a waterfall as well, which might be in part two of the video. I'll go to the waterfall. So as we see here, this is the something brook something in. It's just on the wall here. I couldn't be bothered to look up for it. I had to redo the sound. Oh, there we go. Brook House Inn. I had to redo the sound for the video due to the wind and the mic wasn't very loud, and the wind was too loud. It's a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. So I stopped at the pub for a pint and a packet of scampi fries. That was my own drink I brought, but I just fobbed it off for a pint, to be honest. I got the Fell Brewers, was it? What is it? Something Cumbria. It was nice, to be honest. It was a nice pint. The Fell Brewery, Cumbria. Not sure of the strength. And a packet of scampi fries, classics. And yeah, and the wind was bad and my scampi fries kept blowing everywhere. I lost half the packet. They were probably about £2 as well. £7 it was for the pint and the scampi fries, which in today's world's probably about right, to be honest. Slightly expensive, but probably about right in the day as well. It was a nice pint though. Fell Brewery. Never had a pint of it before. So yeah, this is the Brook House Inn again. It does food, nice food as well. It was only just opening. I think I was the only person in at the time when I first went in. British flags, as we can see. All this in summer. There's all them seats in front of me. They'll all be full in summer, and there's more seats to the back of me and round the side. And yeah, it does nice food. I've been here before and I've camped out, come down for a couple of pints and some food, and it's a good shindig. Head back to the campsite, pissed up, and cause loads of noise and piss everybody off, probably. But it's the way it goes when you have a few drinks, when you have a few bevies. So yeah, Brookhouse Inn, nice little pub. Just round the corner is like the little village of Boots, or if you call it a village, but it kind of is. And I'll go around there in a minute. But yeah, it was a nice little visit to the pub, a nice little pint. So I finished my pint and most of my scampi fries blew all over the spot, to be honest. This seating area here will be absolutely packed in summer, you can guarantee that. There's also seating around the side. I'd say the pub does nice food and be packed in summer. Here's just Boot Village and a mill as well, apparently. So yeah, that was the Brook, oh, I forgot the name of it already. It was Brookhound Inn or something. I don't know if you can stay in that one. I'm not sure. I believe the one down the road here, the Boot Inn, you can stay in it, and then there is rooms as well. There's like Airbnbs and all sorts all over here. So if you were to look it up on Google, TripAdvisor, Booking.com, all these spots, or just thing, you'll probably find lots of spots to stay. Lovely day it was. Here we go. It's a sign for the Boot Inn. I didn't bother to stop and read it there. Sorry. So yeah, just a little walk. Lovely. One thing we do as well in Cumbria is walls, stone walls. We've got lots of stone walls, as you can see here. For man and boy, even running up the side of mountains, you name it, we've got walls. So yeah, it's just a nice little area, to be honest, Eskdale. If you haven't been before, or if you fancy a little trip away, it's nice. It's nice. It's again, it's kind of out of the way, and you would maybe have to come over the pass, and yeah, I think the pass goes to sort of Ambleside and into the sort of Windermere area, I believe. Or you could come round and up from Barrow, or you could come down from Penrith. It depends really. There's lots of ways to get here, but depends where you're coming from really. If north, south, or how easy or scenic you want it as well. Like coming through Windermere and Ambleside will be beautiful, but the traffic could be quite bad as well, especially in summer. Windermere and Ambleside, and that area can be absolutely packed in summer. Very popular with tourists. As I say, this area can be as well, but not. It's not as bad, to be honest. It's not as bad. House for sale here. House PPK, I believe, was the sale. If you wanted to look up how much houses are in the Boot Village area, that's for this thing is for sale by the looks of it. The white building here to the left, this is the inn. There's some caravans here as well. I'm not sure if they're permanent or people can stay in them. I'm not sure, to be honest. There's a little shop, gift shop, just down the way as well. I don't walk right down to it, to be honest. I didn't think it would be open this time of year. I'm not sure if these are sort of holiday inns. You can stay in little cottages, but they're very nice. That one there, beautiful little cottage in the Boot Village. That's what you call it. Here to the left, the white pub. This is the Boot Inn. I once got kicked out of here. I think I've only been in there once, and I got kicked out once. Nice little beer garden though, usually full as well in summer. Plenty of seats. I believe you can stay there as well. But there's rooms to rent for the night or for however long you want to stay. Yeah, I got kicked out of that pub once for being too loud when I was drunk, and I mean it's kind of what happens when you drink, you get loud. But I think that was upsetting the people, or they thought I was upsetting the people who were actually slipped a big rock. I was upsetting the people who stayed there at the hotel because I was being too loud because I was pissed. But it's kind of what happens when you get pissed. I mean, I run pubs and that, and run pubs, and like kind of if you fill people full of drink, they're probably going to get pissed, and then they're probably going to get loud, and that's probably just what happens when you get pissed. So you kind of have to take it on the chin, you know what I mean? When you fill people full of drink and they get pissed, and kind of have to take it on the chin. But some of these establishments don't. So I was told to leave from the establishment and had to walk all the way back to the campsite on my own, which was about a mile away up this road. And yeah, that was that. So, no, well, they'll never remember who I am. I didn't go in just because I've been banned out before. They will never remember. That was about 5 years ago, something 4 years ago. I had a pint in this pub and I was driving, so I didn't want to have another pint, to be honest. But I was just showing everybody the boot in as well, another pub. So two pubs in a sort of a close area, and in summer when it's quite nice. Although see, it's quite nice today, still a few clouds in the skies. But yeah, so it's just a nice little area for camping, really, more than anything. But I suppose there is Airbnbs and stuff around, but I just don't look in there. I would just go camping, to be honest. There is actually a campsite up the way, Fisher Ground, I believe it's called, and then there's another one. A woman just has a farm, and during the summer months, she just hires some portaloos, puts some portaloos in the field, and you can camp there for £10 a night, which is next to nothing, to be honest. You like out a fire if you take a fire pit and barbecues, and as long as you're not too loud too late, she's spot on. I think she even makes bacon sandwiches in the morning, to be honest, if you pay her. I believe that was a crack. But yeah, it's right next to the river as well. Nice river, next to the campsite, and £10 a night, you can't really go wrong, to be honest. So, and then you just wander down the road here. It's maybe half a mile down the road to these pubs. Come down for a couple of drinks, and yeah, head back to the campsite, pissed up, and make a nuisance of yourself, is what often happens. But yeah, so this Boot, as I say, Eskdale and Boot, lovely little area. Never been before. I just walk back up the road now. I'm gonna go to a waterfall, is it Delgarth Falls, I believe.